Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Inter Extra podcast. I am here, as always, with my co host, Simi. And once again, we have a special guest on with us today, Uncle Sharma. Hey, say hey, hello to everybody, Uncle.
What's up, man? Great to be on the Inter Extra podcast with two guys that I've known for a long time. So excited for this one, man.
Likewise, man. Likewise. Good to have you.
Yeah, it's always a privilege. I actually, just a quick background or like history lesson on my movement into actual Inter Twitter and Inter content. Your show on YouTube was the first that I started interacting with and started watching. So I joined Twitter during COVID and then like was looking for things to watch. And of course, Uncle Sharma was starting right around then. So yeah, I've been watching you for a long time. So I'm so glad that you're here with us. Yeah, today we're just, of course, Inter's back. We're finally back in preseason.
Yeah.
They got their vacation. So we've got a little bit of that news, and then we've got, of course, our transfer news, incomings and outgoings.
Yeah, so I will take it away right away, as always, guys. And we had training start on Saturday, I believe, right? I think you made a video as well on it, Sharma. But I think it was Saturday. Yes. And the first thing that came to mind, I woke up and I didn't even have my breakfast. I saw Petar Sucic pulling into training 2 hours early, which was, you know, it kind of gives me like it shows he's committed and he wants to prove himself. But obviously we had the usual outfit pictures. Josep Martinez right here. We have the Argentinians right here. We have Seba Esposito. Like you said, on his way, waiting out. Sharma waiting to find a new club. But yeah, everyone's back, looking sharp, or somewhat sharp. But yeah, I'll just quickly show a couple of the training pictures right here. We have Denzel, we have Luis Enrique, we have Lautaro, we have Bonnie once more. Yeah, how do we feel about the team being back, guys?
Yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. It's I think it's been a nice break. Or has it been 3-4 weeks since the club woke up? Even the club woke up for me. I know you guys were the same. I wasn't too invested in it, so that was already kind of a nice like wind down into the end of season. But now with all the new transfers, rejuvenation of the squad, which still is, you know, still got to do some bits here and there. Yeah, I'm starting to get excited. And, you know, Chivu's press conference, like, it's going to be a different Inter, so I'm looking forward to it, man. No, we know at least that it's not going to be 3-5-2 till death.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Yeah, I liked seeing everybody there and not anyone looking like they're overweight. Lautaro pictures.
Hey, I've still seen the comments on Lautaro.
Bro, he could lose 10 kg and people still say he's overweight. Like,
that's just his body type, right? Like, it's just,
yeah.
Also, I don't think the shirt did him any justice. He was wearing a big baggy shirt, and it.
Yeah.
Made him look a little bit bigger. So. Yeah, it was kind of funny. I was ready to jump on that. I've made a joking tweet about him before, like just his body type. He was really skinny still, but like you can see the love handles. Like even if you have obliques on your side over your hip bones, and it kind of pops out. So I circled them and made a joke. So
Come on, man.
Yeah, too many people took that post seriously, but it's good.
Yeah, Bonnie as well is similar to Sucic, like you said, Simi. They said he came on the Saturday or the Friday, then they said don't come back the next day because your tests are so good.
Yeah,
the results are so good.
Because he had like a little injury, right, that he was like coming back from, and then he was like, actually everything's fine. So yeah, very happy with that. And then
the couple guys that were missing, actually, speaking of people who could be coming back soon, Fratesi is one of them. He had a surgery, so he's coming back soon.
I read somewhere that he's back between the first and the second league game. I don't know where I read it. But that's like the timeline. Yeah, I think Thomas tweeted it yesterday. It's somewhat around the end of August, which pretty much means,
he's missing all preseason.
Yeah, which is, not ideal, but I feel like with him it's not that deep, compared to other players. But yeah, we'll get into the guys that are missing, Sean. I have that on the list, don't worry. But the day after last episode, guys, we had the official confirmation of the under-23 team. Very creative name. I know, Sharma, you made a video on it today, guys. If you want to hear more about it, make sure you check it out. But yeah, lack of creativity right there. But, you know, I guess they let that slide for now. And obviously the manager is right here, Stefano Vecchi, right? He has previously managed in the youth sector Primavera for 4 years, I think, right? And you know, he went on his little journey since then, and now he's back at Inter. And then yeah, from the under-23 team, we didn't hear a lot since the training apparently started, but finally after a while we got some pictures. We have a couple of the Leonis returning, a couple of the, you know, familiar faces. So yeah, under-23's back, and they played their first game, which we'll get into at the end of the episode. But yeah, looking good, right?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Just seeing them out there. Actually, I mean, we know that Inter sucks at getting pictures for us and giving content to us. So, you know, something is better than nothing, I guess.
We got a 2-minute 30 video today from today's training. So
yeah, always with the heavy techno music that is way too loud and you can't hear anything, so you can't even enjoy it properly. But hey, if intermediate house, you know, if you're looking for someone to hire, I'm available. I think these two guys are available too. Hit us up. You know?
Available, yeah.
Hit us up, yeah. Hit us up. But yeah. So much on that. Again, we'll get into under-23 later, of course, because there are some things we need to go over, some, you know, dates and whatnot that are announced. But before we get into the press conference, you just mentioned it earlier, Sharma. We'll get into some of the quotes. This picture was doing its rounds around Twitter, which is Hakan Calhanoglu and Lautaro Martinez sitting in probably either one of their houses, you know, being friends again, I guess. So good news on that. Obviously, we knew that they made up. They had like a phone call and they kind of talked things out regardless. But it's good to see this, and obviously kind of like a PR picture, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't think most of us were worried about them two individually. Like, you know, there's a group of 25 men, testosterone going around. There's always going to be some clashes. There's always something going to be like, yeah, it's part of the game. But it seems like the main news, I guess, outside of that is that Hakan is staying, whether was his choice or not. That's at least the news that we have to live with, whether you were pro Hakan or against Hakan. I was kind of in, you know, more against, or as in more wanting him to leave just because of his age and injuries. But I guess we have to hope that he can adapt and perform back to his best like he did in the Scudetto season.
Yeah. He has to perform in order to, you know, prove that he actually wants to stay.
Yeah, and I'm hoping to see some Hakan with Beppe and Auxilio dinner pictures. You know, have them make up, because we're still waiting on that.
Auxilio's having too many dinners, man. Take his credit card away.
Yep, that's why we can't afford the extra 2 million for Lookman, right?
Yeah.
No, we'll hopefully we'll see Hakan you know, on fire again. Now,
yeah. What do you guys make of his, like, I don't know if that's a topic for later, Simi, but do you think he can adapt to if it's a double pivot in a 3-4-2-1?
Well, no, that's not a topic for later, but so it's good you're asking. But I do think so, yeah. I don't think he can play the role higher, the 10. I don't think that's realistic. I don't know. I don't. Obviously, it's Gazzetta, right? So, you know, take it however you want, but that would be catastrophic. I feel like the double pivot would be good with like Sucic next to him or Barella. I think that would be good. But we'd have to see. Sean, what do you think?
Yeah, I feel like Inzaghi kind of built up with Barella and Hakan that way anyway. They would drop deep. Just Hakan was always deeper. He was the main one dropping deep. So I think they could do it. It's just about where that third midfielder is. And so instead it might be 2 up above the 2 of them. So it just might be a different connection and movement.
I don't think it's that different though, because if you see Mkhitaryan last season, he was basically like that half winger anyway, where he kind of pushed forward, you know. So he wasn't as deep as Barella, if that makes sense, even though they're theoretically the same position, you know.
Yeah, he might actually not have to cover as much space as well, right? So Hakan had to cover if he was if he was the one building up, he'd be really deep around the center backs. But this time it'll be someone with him, Sucic, Barella, whoever it is. So I don't know. It could help him a little bit. But yeah, he can't. Don't move him back up. Please,
Nah, please. We don't want the Hamburg Hakan back. But yeah, Sean, I don't know if you have the press conference quotes put up yourself, but I do want to quickly get into the press conferences. Press conference, there was only one. And yeah, it was interesting because I watched it. Obviously, my Italian is very broken, but the understanding is getting there. So I watched it in Italian first and translated it. And it was interesting because Beppe went on a whole speech himself before even taking any questions. And he reiterated, there was 7 titles in 5 years. We had more points than anyone else. Consistently participating in the Champions League, something our competitors couldn't do. So very, like, this is what we did statements. And just scrolling through it, I picked out the most important ones that were, important to translate. The 3-4-2-1, as you mentioned, Chivu did say these are just numbers and it's the principles that matter. We want to be aggressive and vertical and maintain balance. And then, yeah, some interesting quotes, but I want to ask you guys mainly about the formation because he didn't necessarily say 3-4-2-1, yes, no. He just kind of like brushed it off. So do you think we'll just play both formations, like Inzaghi's formation and his formation, or what do we expect?
Yeah, Sharma, I'll let you go first.
Yeah, I think the 3-5-2 is still going to be the basis. I think we're going to start, most matches in the 3-5-2. But I think then the 3-4-2-1, like you said, depending on the opponent or maybe within the game, that will become the go-to formation if we need to chase a game or there's a different type of opponent. I still think the 3-5-2, just because I think even Chivu, when he plays, even with the Primavera, he always liked to have three midfielders, I think, most of the time. I think he played 4-2-3-1 sometimes as well, but yeah. I think he likes to have 3 midfielders. So yeah, I think that will be the basis, and then we will be more adaptable, at least compared to previous seasons.
Yeah, I like the press conference, and I think also with Chivu's comments on the formation, it's a little bit. Of course, he has something in mind. There's going to be, like you said, Sharma, there's going to be a basis. But what I appreciated is it looks like whenever he has an 11 that he's going to pick the best lineup for the 11 and not force that starting 11 to fit into a lineup. So not only adaptability, but hopefully getting the best out of every profile that we have here still. So it was awesome. And yeah, if you guys are wanting to hear all of the quotes and something a little bit more in depth than what we'll go to, Uncle Sharma did a video. I watched it this morning. Long,
thank you.
He read the whole thing, the whole press conference. So you'll get all the quotes translated. That was that Inter News?
FC Inter News, I think, yeah, and you just auto translate.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, it's good. I'm excited to see, where he thinks players should play. I think that's really what I'm excited to see. What does he think each profile is the best, like for where they're going to fit? So.
Yep, definitely. And then the main talk, I guess, was, we heard more news today, but yesterday this was, interesting to hear this being talked about this openly. President Marotta said these are decisive weeks for Ademola Lookman. He's exactly what our manager is looking for. His versatility is key. In the next 2-3 days, we will be able to understand if a transfer is possible and hopefully close a deal. Again, we will get into that in just a second. And then he also talked about Giovanni Leoni among... he said, we hope to find Inter's own Giovanni Leoni among our youth players. Leoni is certainly talented. Perhaps the pressure on him is exaggerated. Parma made a smart move last year, obviously from Sampdoria. And today they have a valuable asset. And, he did say, he kind of denied it. He didn't say, because he said, we'll see what can happen. But he did say the coaches recognize his value. But Leoni is a Parma player. We aren't in any negotiations with Parma. He would be useful to any team, but the priority is on other roles. Which kind of tells me, yes, we want to go for him, but we don't really, it's not, we're not looking to do it now kind of thing. So I think I said this last week with Nima. I feel like this would be a last week of August kind of deal if it does happen, and not like in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, I tweeted it out when I saw this and just said, "Put the fries in the bag." So talking about a center back that we're gonna find a Leoni, hope to find a Leoni in our own youth ranks. Yeah, okay, sure, because those profiles grow on trees. Yeah, it's I guess it's good that they're finally being open and honest with us. With the last 5 years, I guess they've been so cryptic, or they'll just come out and flat out lie and just think about the Skriniar deals and all of that stuff. So, yeah, it's unique and weird, but yeah, he's a diplomat. So,
Yeah. Sharma, anything you want to add? Obviously, you had your video already, but
Yeah, no, actually, I missed that quote on Leoni. I didn't actually catch that one. That he said that they would. What did he say? That, so we create our own Leoni. We want to create our own Leoni.
Yeah. So
he said,
I got it in. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, it said we hope to find Inter's own Giovanni Leoni among our youth players.
Yeah.
Oh, Fontana Rosa.
Yeah. Come on, man. Come on. That's our own Leoni. Why do we need Leoni for?
We will talk about him later, though, because they had a U23 team had a friendly, but
yeah, he scored. He's better than Leoni.
Yeah.
No, I think that's Beppe. I think he played. He showed his cards in the Lookman side, but then for the Leoni now, I think he's trying to say to Palmer like, look, come on, 40 million. That's a little bit too much. Like, let's be realistic now.
Yeah, I think that's like an indirect. He's saying that indirectly by saying the pressure's too high on him. That's translated into he's not worth that much, basically.
Yeah. I mean, the hype is a lot. I mean, he's played 12 games, 12 starts in Serie A, and those 2 big performances against Lukaku and Vlahovic really have sent that price through the roof.
Yeah, it reminds me kind of like of the Premier League, right? Like you guys know, I'm a passionate Premier League hater, but it reminds me of the Premier League where teams quickly jump on the player and the valuation goes up like crazy just because even of like half a good season or even 3 months. And it's like, it's one of my pet peeves in football because it's like the player hasn't even played for like a year straight. And yes, okay, you need to recognize talent when it's there and, jump in early as a club. You don't want to miss out, But yeah, which is ironic because Inter did miss out last year with Sampdoria, right? But yeah.
Yeah, that was the mistake, buying Palacio. Obviously, it's easy to say in hindsight, but that was a mistake. Yeah.
Yeah, and to add to that, like one of the most annoying things is that the old heads in Italy and Italian football, they see him perform against Vlahovic and Lukaku, who are not the same players that they think that they still are 4 years later from when they were the best strikers in the league.
Yeah.
And so they're thinking, Leoni's shut down Vlahovic and Lukaku. Okay, well, we're getting a little bit longer list of the center backs
that did that. Yes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of names in there that aren't as good as Leoni. So, I don't not that anyone can do that, but I don't think we should overhype him, like Beppe said. Yeah. But let's move on.
Coppola had good performances against them, and he went for 10 million. So
there you go. Which is also a shame, but yeah. Let's move on to what happened today. There was a meeting, Lega meeting they had some discussions about, I think, like game cancellations and stuff like that. And afterwards, they met for Adamola Lookman. When I say they, it's President Marotta and Antonio Percassi, who is, I think, Atalanta's owner or CEO or president. Sharma, you know this, right?
Yeah, it's one of those.
Oh, okay. I thought you knew. But yeah, so Inter's offer was ready, I have to say, according to Biasin, 43 million plus 43 million plus bonuses. And here we have them walking in. And then afterwards, the first thing we heard was from Fabrizio Romano, who said that Inter new bid for Adamola Lookman is worth 40 plus 5. No agreement yet, as Atalanta insists on a higher fee. And then, a couple of hours later, we heard that Inter's second official offer to Atalanta for Adamola Lookman has been submitted, worth 42 plus 3 in bonuses. I don't know if that makes a big difference because Atalanta are going to get 45 anyway, but that's what they submitted. And then literally like 2 hours ago, Simone Tonia said Inter is expecting an answer from Atalanta tomorrow and would like a definite answer this week. The club will press for tomorrow, building on the agreement reached with Lookman. The forward would walk to Milan if it meant he joined Inter. I like the wording here. And then basically an hour ago, Atalanta is expected to reject Inter's latest offer for Ademola Lookman. The club has always asked for a total package worth 50 million. And it's unlikely that the deal would drag on past Thursday. And I want to end it here because this means something will happen this week, right? And I'm happy about that because we need to move on if nothing's going to happen this week. But this from Pedula right here is basically like the ultimatum, like either something happens by Thursday or Friday or it's off.
Yeah, it's so annoying. And just if you're submitting an offer that you're expecting to be rejected, just does not make sense. Like, what did you talk about with Percassi this morning? If you submitted an offer that you know is going to get rejected, what makes you think that they're going to just change their mind because it's an official offer now? So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. And yeah, if Lookman actually starts to walk from Bergamo to Milano, I think maybe that deal a little bit. So we'll see.
That's not even that far though.
It's not. It's an hour drive, that which is like how long? I don't know. Like a couple of hours walking. You can do that.
That's like a charity walk, yeah.
Yeah, to collect charity on the way. Yeah, exactly. And then you have 5 million at the end of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Raise funds.
But no, listen. I would just say if I'm Beppe, right? Again, I don't know how the communications with Ochi go. I have no idea about the business side of things. But to me, if you offered 45 plus 5, then maybe see if you can pay the 5 million like with more difficult bonuses or whatever you want to do. But somehow make the sum 50 because that's what they want. They don't want 50 flat out. We know this now because, apparently they want 50 in the package. So you just somehow, Beppe knows how to make these deals. I'm surprised that he didn't already throw in a deal that somehow consists of some, shady bonuses. So, Sharma, I don't know, like, if you're more on the side of move on if Atalanta being stubborn or just insist on Lookman. But, yeah, let me know.
Well, I mean, if Chivu's asked for him, if that's the guy that they want, I think it doesn't make sense not to close the deal over a few million. I think you saw with the Coop Miners deal with Juve, like Atalanta not easy to deal with, especially now that they've made already so much money this summer from Retegui and Ruggeri. So you might get maybe a couple of million off. I think in the end they will have to do 45 base, maybe a few million touching 48, 49, like Coop Miners in the end, I think they wanted 60.
Yeah.
And after weeks and weeks, it got to 51 plus 6, if I remember correctly. So it got to 57, so 3 million. And it took weeks. I think here both teams don't want to wait for weeks. So yeah, if Inter really want him, make the 45 the base and then add in the bonuses and get the deal over the line. I think one thing as well, I think maybe they were expecting Lookman to maybe put up a bit more of a fuss, like he tried to do, I think, with PSG at one point. At this time, it seems like he's being more professional, which is annoying.
Yeah, I do have a question for you, Sharma, because I know that you've done a little bit of the accounting streams before. I just don't understand why Inter can't raise the base to 45. Like, is that an accounting thing? Oak Tree is looking at that at if we bring in this guy, our yearly costs are going to be this, and we don't want it to reach this. Do you think that that's the issue?
No, I think 1 or 2 million don't really make that much of a difference in when you're with the fee, because again, it's going to be spread out over his contract and it's going to be, amortized. So and there's also reports that Lookman, just to make it happen, the reports are saying that he's willing to cut his salary, right, to like 3.5, just to like, if it is that issue, then he's even willing to do that. So I think what it might be would be just that like green light from Oak Tree to say like, yeah, we got the green light for 40. Now they've got a green light to go 45. I think they just need the green light to say, get it over, like whatever it takes, 50 million, get it over the line.
Yeah, fair enough. So if it's not, I did see that tweet as well about Lookman wanting to, or being open to, getting paid less in order to get the deal over the line. But yeah, no, if it's not a financial issue, then obviously they're just trying to, you know, negotiate till the very end. But yeah, we talked about Leoni, we talked about Lookman. We have apparently, which is interesting, possible departures of Piotr Zielinski and Cristian Aslani. Obviously, we know about Aslani, but Zielinski's a new one. I know only Gazzetta reported on it, but we have the Sasha Tavoliere, who works for Sky Sports Switzerland, has two names, or one name right now, which is Mandela Keita from Parma, who is worth around 20 million. And yeah, so the Belgian midfielder is basically on the list if one of the two was to leave. And apparently he is an Inter fan, as we can see by this video here. He was at the stadium to watch the 4-3 against Barcelona in May. So we have him and also Morten Frenrup as potential candidates to replace Zielinski, which again, I don't know where that came from. I don't know why Zielinski would leave. I don't know if what you guys think about it, but yeah, Sharma, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I think going back to what we said about Hakan earlier, I think in the 3-4-2-1, I think we do need a different profile in there, like a guy that can just keep it simple, win the ball back. And that Frenrup, I think, had the record for the most recoveries, if I remember correctly, or interception and recoveries. He's a proper dog in midfield for Genoa. Very limited technically, so I'm not his biggest fan, like in general, but I see why we're linked to him or Keita, who's also similar. And yeah, if he's an Inter fan, that's a little added bonus. And yeah, Zielinski, unfortunately, it just hasn't worked out for the guy. Like, I was a big fan of Zielinski when he was at Napoli all those years, but it was just, I feel like he's come to Inter, he's earning decent money. He rejected Saudi just because I think him and his wife wanted to stay in Italy, and I think he's just kind of coasting his way through, which that's definitely not what we need in the new season. Now we need hungry players.
Yeah. Zielinski as well, this new formation won't suit him at all because he won't run enough in a double pivot, and then he doesn't really drift wide enough as a midfielder already to kind of play the two behind the attacker, which need to be central and drift wide. So yeah, it's a shame, but yeah, either one of those profiles as well, I think would be good for a ball winning profile. I don't think that either one of them would be starters though. So replacing Zielinski, who's not really going to fit in, and he didn't really fit Inzaghi's 3-5-2 either. He had to run more than he normally did, even in Inzaghi's system. So I understand moving to that because we do, hopefully Sucic is more of a technician. Barella and Hakan, of course, are technicians. Fratesi is the opposite of that. So, just we'll have a good mix of profiles. Someone finally a real ball winner, because even Fratesi and Hakan, who have worked on their defensive work, are not ball winners. We don't have a ball winner in that midfield.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think it's going to be, the fact that it's mostly going to be two midfielders by the looks of it. Yeah, we're going to need some different profiles. I agree. Finally, guys, to finish up on the incomings, we have 3 for the Inter U23 side. Now, these are the official ones. Any rumors, I'm not actually going to put in here because we'll just wait until it's official. But we have the two old heads, quote unquote. We have Giuseppe Prestia, who came from, I think, a Serie C side, I'm not sure. And then Riccardo Melgrati, who is also 31, goalkeeper. And then we have Tommaso Avitabile, who is 18, and the right back. We have the pictures right here, the official announcements. This is what, this is who we signed. And yeah, more announcements are probably going to follow. We talked about some last week, some rumors. So we'll see who ends up joining the under-23 side as well. But this is what we have officially right now. And then also official in terms of outgoings, guys. We're going to move on to Alexander Stankovic, who has joined Club Brugge on a permanent deal. Obviously, we reported the buyback clause last week already in 2026 and 2027, which has been, Inter managed to lower by a couple of million euros. And then also announced today, Tajan Buchanan has left the club to join Villarreal on a permanent basis. Once again, going to Spain. Yeah, guys, thoughts, opinions?
Yeah, good luck, Alex. We're rooting for him, I think, all of us, for him to do well and maybe yeah, we might have to. I hope we have to trigger that clause because that means he's done very well, and we bring him back. It would be so good to see a Stankovic starting at Inter. And yeah, Buchanan, I think, just didn't work out for the boy, and I think we did well in the end to get 9 million. I think plus 20% resale clause as well in there because he had a big leg break last year. So the fact that we still managed to get more than what we paid for him, yeah, it's good, and I think it's a good move for him. I think La Liga suits him better. I think he enjoyed his time at Villarreal.
Yeah, nothing more to add with those, and just I hope Tejan can not only succeed at Villarreal, but they're going to play in the Champions League, so we'll be seeing a little bit more of him than normal. Yeah, no problems there. Those are good deals, and yeah, hopefully in 2 years when Brugge are trying to force Yashari money for Stankovic, we can get him back for the price that we finally agreed to with them. So good luck to both of them.
Yeah, I look forward to following Buchanan via Thomas's tweets.
Yeah. Listen, Thomas, I know you're listening, right? Thomas, I know he won't stop talking about imagine the first goal he scores, you won't be hearing the end of it. Why did we sell him better than Dumfries? Yeah, what could have been? Yeah, he would have secured us whatever title we're gonna miss out next season. Okay, man, I don't want to hear it, man.
Hey, the only thing that we need to do is make sure that he doesn't start posting it on the Inter Xtra account.
Oh yeah. Just make sure you have the right account. Yeah, don't
Yeah. Former Inter player.
Oh my goodness. Nah, I need to keep the leash a bit tight in that regard, because otherwise he'll start saying some crazy things on a professional account that we are. Yeah, no, I agree with you guys. I specifically, I'm excited for Alexander Stankovic to get some good experience. I do think we'll buy him back next year. Hopefully, we'll still be able to get some money for Hakan next year. I always said that Hakan, the right time to sell Hakan would be next year. And I feel like Stankovic, 1 year of Champions League football, hopefully, if they qualify. I said this 2 weeks ago, I think. Club Brugge have 1 round of Champions League qualification to play. So they should be in there. And yeah, he'll get some good experience. He'll have 50 games a season to play as well. And with Tejan, obviously, like you said, it was unfortunate. The funny thing is, well, not so funny because it's an injury, but I watched him live against Argentina at the Copa America, the opening game. Not Copa America. Yeah, it was Copa America. Yeah. In June when I was in the US, and then I watched his first game back live as well against Udinese in the Coppa Italia in December. So the first and last game before he got injured, in the first game when he came back, I saw him play, and then afterwards you kind of just saw, the injury really did hold him back, and at the end of the day, it's the right decision to go back where he's actually, we had a good time. Not only that, but also he's wanted, and Villarreal clearly wanted him again. And they were smart, for not triggering the 13 million buy option and then actually signing him for 9 million instead. So fair play to them.
We all knew that was happening.
We knew. I mean, it was obvious, right? But yeah, so fair play.
At least there's not a Lazaro and Dalbert situation where you just have to keep loaning him out and then it ends up leaving on the free.
Yeah, because that's what we initially thought it was going to be. But yeah, so not that bad at the end. But moving on to some other rumours, Inter would be willing to listen to offers of 30 to 35 million euros for Benjamin Pavard. The defender has not asked to leave the club and would only consider moving if a top club came asking. Manchester United and the Saudi sides have shown interest, but nothing more. So clearly, we know that Manchester United are not a top club, right? Yeah, this is Simone Tonia reporting it, but yeah. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I was quite, I started this kind of idea of selling Pavard quite early last year because I think the guys on interviews, I think Gianni on interviews might have mentioned it on their podcast, and I was like, he's 29, he's starting to get a lot of injuries, he earns quite a lot of, I think he earns more, or just as much as Bastoni, I think, so he's quite expensive on the books for Inter. It's not about the quality. I know he is a quality player and quality defender for sure, and he is on his day definitely better than Bisek, but again, it's similar to Zielinski. I feel like sometimes the Pavard, it seems like he's kind of just happy. He's won everything at Bayern. He's won everything with France. He's I almost feel like he's kind of happy to coast his his career at the moment. Like, I don't feel that kind of, super hunger from him that he doesn't want to be displaced by Bisek. So I am open to the idea of selling Pavard if the right bid comes along, but there's no way, no one's offering 35 million for him.
No, because how old is Pavard now?
He's 29.
Yeah, 29. Yeah, probably not.
Also, his availability, just like Zielinski, like both of them have not been available as much as they should be, and I think that has to again do with what you said, Sharma. They're not exactly really trying to keep themselves healthy. Like, I don't think they have the motivation to be as healthy as possible. They're like, okay.
Oh yeah, Puddlegate with Pavard as well.
Oh yes,
right? Recent.
Yeah. Now I always compare it with how Lautaro came back for the second leg of that Champions League game. Like, does Pavard or Zielinski do that? Okay, obviously they don't play the role of Lautaro, but it just shows a level of commitment, to want to be available sooner and to, when you're injured or if you're injury prone, work on your fitness, work on the fact that, you feel like you're going to be back. And even if you're not fit, take painkillers, but clearly there's not the same level of commitment. Well, we don't know, but I guess from what we can see. So I guess in terms of like highly valued players in our squad, I guess those would be the first two I would be open to, sell. So yeah, I agree. Next, guys, we have obviously his partner or his vice, whatever you want to call him, maybe not vice, right centre back, Jan Bisek, who has turned down offers from the Premier League and he wants to stay at Inter because he wants to have a good year ahead of the World Cup with Germany, which makes sense. I do think he has chances to become a star with, within the next few international breaks, and that's a heavy if he gets, a decent amount of game time. I feel like if Chivu does it like Inzaghi did it last year, where Pavard played half of the games. Okay, it was due to injuries as well, but Pavard played like half of the games and Bisek played half of the games. I feel like that could be good enough for him to secure his starting spot at the club at the World Cup. But obviously, the more games, the better, right? So this only makes sense for him, and yeah, I think you guys would agree with me, right?
Yeah. I'll get if only if it's like I think they said 40 million plus offer would make Inter stumble for Bisek. So yeah, again, I'm open to kind of selling both, which sounds weird. Like either of them, I'm open to selling. But the offer has to be the right one. Yeah.
Yeah, I think also I've said it on one of our first episodes. Actually, it was about how Chivu, the way that Chivu said that he wants to play, Bisek kind of fits that a little bit more. So I understand him wanting to reject offers because I don't know what those offers were, but wanting to stay and show, especially Nagelsmann, that he can play in a high line, that he's going to want to play for Germany. And then we'll see if Chivu plays them in the center or if he keeps them on a right side, whatever that means for him. So don't want to try and win a position at a new club right before the World Cup. That's what Leoni's hesitation is in moving this summer as well, because he wants to make the Italy squad.
Yeah, I know it's off topic a little bit now, but because you mentioned Leoni, we said last week one of Acerbi or De Vrij would have to leave, and right now that's looking unlikely, because if none of them leave, then Leoni would be the third central centre back. That's impossible. Like, he would either have to learn, quote unquote, under De Vrij or Acerbi, preferably De Vrij, because Acerbi's getting very old. So I don't see it happening. And with Bisek, he can play left centre back as well, where he played at Aarhus in Denmark, and so he can kind of cover for Bastoni if needed as well. I feel like he'll get enough game time, but we'll have to wait and see. I agree with you, Sean, though. Next up, guys, Botafogo came in for Mehdi Taremi, who didn't want to go to Brazil. He prefers England, sunny England, over sunny Brazil. So there are ongoing contacts between his entourage and two Premier League clubs, which is probably either one of Fulham or Nottingham Forest or whoever else came in for him. But yeah, that's the most recent update from a couple of days ago. Again, I said it last week. If we even get 1 million for him, because someone said the price is 10 million, we're not selling him for 10 million, let's be real. So if we even get 1 million for him, I'll be happy.
Yeah. And by the way, England actually has been sunny this summer. There's something gone wrong with the weather.
My bad.
I can't believe it.
That's why we've heard so much about, how hot it is over there. You haven't gotten rain, cool you guys off.
Yeah, no, yeah, I agree with you, Simi. Like, there's no way we're getting 10 million. So anything. The funny thing was, apparently the Botafogo director or the owner said that it was actually Taremi's agents that reached out to them, but he doesn't want to go there. That was funny.
Well, looks like the camp itself isn't the same opinion. But yeah, Sean, you want to add anything to that?
No, I don't think there's anything else to add with Taremi. All of his rumors, it's the same thing. So
yeah,
we'll
similar to Buchanan. We'll follow Nima's tweets when he leaves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That will be a dark day for Nima for sure. What will be a dark day for me is when Sebastiano Esposito leaves, guys, because you guys know I tweeted this the other day. Why don't we keep him as a backup to, if we do have 3 strikers, as a 6th striker, push Mkhitaryan back, we can sell Aslani, we can sell Zielinski, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, it's not going to happen, but if I was a manager, and I said, give me the keys. But no, he is in negotiations with Cagliari, or his camp is in negotiations with Cagliari, who would like a loan with the obligation to buy, right? We had this similar with Empoli, but the obligation was if they stay up, so it wasn't an obligation, right? And but the forwards contract would have to be extended first. I wouldn't loan him out, even if the obligation's there, I guess. But yeah, I wouldn't send him to Cagliari either. I think he would be better suited for Fiorentina. I think he would cook up front with Moise Kean. That would be a good duo. And then, if not that, then I don't know, maybe like a Bologna. But Cagliari, I feel like he's better than that. He scored 10 goals with a terrible Empoli side. He can play in a top club. He can play for Gladbach too if they're still serious about him. I know we had those rumors like a week or 2 ago. The Bundesliga would be perfect. He would score minimum 10 goals in the Bundesliga. I'll have no doubt. But yeah, it's just about getting rid of him permanently.
Yeah, no. We don't want to create like a Longo situation where we renew his contract and Cagliari get relegated so they don't have to trigger the clause. Like, yeah, we just need to, unfortunately, Simi, just need to get rid of him.
It's okay, man. It's okay.
Sean, we'll follow him through your tweets.
Yeah. Sean, where would you send him?
I'm almost to the point of just whoever is going to actually spend the money, send him there. Because even if he goes to Cagliari, then he can earn his way back to a bigger club. If he gets sold for 8 million and he has another good season, you got 2 back-to-back double-digit goal seasons, someone's going to pay 15, 20 million for you. True. So he can work his way back up to a club that's probably a little bit more of what I think his ceiling is. But yeah, Ajax would be good because they just had another good season, and so they're back into European football. Gladbach, Fiorentina, just get him off. And if he explodes, then you have to say we made the wrong decision and see if you can bring him back.
And then I'll have a field day with that. But yeah,
after blocks.
No, yeah, you will. Next up, guys, another guy that seemingly just isn't leaving is Cristian Aslani. Now, obviously, we had this a few weeks ago where Ausilio openly said, get out, my friend. And he continues to reject everything, according to Matteo Moretto. And he's calmly waiting to make a decision on where to take his career next. It's a tug of war. He wants to stay in Italy. He doesn't want to go to Betis. Apparently, Betis offered up to 15 million. But understandably, he's from Tuscany. He doesn't want to leave his family. He doesn't want to go abroad. Some people are just like that. Some players are, and you have to respect that. The board has to respect that. You can't force him out. But clearly, he's going to have to find a new club. So I think the Fiorentina rumors were good. I think he would fit in well under Pioli. But yeah, he doesn't want to rush into anything, understandably.
Yeah, I also saw, I think, Thomas, or you might have tweeted it, but that it wasn't entirely true that he was rejecting everything, and that sometimes Inter was coming back with, no, we went closer to 20 million, and clubs are saying, no, we're going to offer 12 to 15.
Yeah, that was me, I think. Yeah.
So whatever it is, just like Seba Esposito, just get the deal over the line.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind loaning Aslani out for a season though, just if to get his value up. I think a good loan could get his value up. I think he's got, yeah, like as you said, Fiorentina and the Pioli, you could get his value back up to that 20 million level if you
Definitely.
can't sell him for.
Definitely. In the long term, it will definitely be smarter. But yeah, let's see what happens with that. Then, guys, before we get into additional news, I just want to quickly breeze through these things here. 3 more tweets. First of all, Inter could receive the additional 4 million for Lucien Agumé, right? Again, you know you won't hear the end of it if he has another good season with Sevilla. Now, obviously, this is this shady deal that Beppe did with Sevilla, where they bought 50% of the midfielders' rights, which means sell-on clause related. And now, if they pay another 4 million, then if they eventually would end up selling him, Inter would only have a 10% sell-on clause. He is still only 23. He does actually still play with the French under-21 team, but yeah. So there's Sean, I see you in the top left of my screen. No, so you know he if he has a good season, I know Arsenal are interested. I don't know how much they would pay for him theoretically, you know, because obviously Thomas Partey now left. So definitely want to keep an eye on. But 4 million wouldn't be bad to just kind of get for nothing, really and truly, because of the way the deal happened. And then we also have Zinho van Huysden, who is among the players that missed preseason. Now, Taremi missed it because he's been granted some extra time off. He's training with a personal trainer. Fartesi is obviously still injured. And then the Van Huysden is training with Spanish third division side, Marbella. Now, that sounds more like to me he's going on holiday. But
yeah, he's not training there.
He's not training there. I don't know what he's doing, but he's not training. So he's been exempt from joining into his preseason camp. So
that's where I had my stag do, or bachelors as they call it.
Oh yeah, see, so you might have to go on a reunion with him then. But yeah, so he's expected to leave within the next 2 weeks. And I just want to quickly say it's interesting because he had called up to the Belgian national team just a year ago, and then he got injured. And now he's in the Spanish third division. What a fall from grace, right? So yeah, finally good to get him off the books once and for all. And then finally, in terms of outgoings for the under 23 side, Giacomo De Pieri has joined Juve Stabia on a dry loan for the season, which is obviously Serie B. We talked about it last episode with Nima, or 2 weeks ago, I think. And this is definitely a good move because he is ready to play above the third tier. So, you know, there's still plenty of talent in the under 23 team. I'm not worried. So this is a good move for him. And then, guys, sorry, I forgot Luca Di Maggio, who's also joining Padova, which is going to be finished at some point this week. So we'll have the official announcement next week as well. And then, guys, yeah, the third kit has been leaked. Sharma, I don't know if you saw it. The orange and navy blue, I don't know what color that's meant to be. The kit is apparently meant to be part of Nike's Total 90 Elite range. I know it's meant to be based on some kit in the mid 2000s, but this is ugly in my opinion, guys. Sorry.
That makes so much sense because I have been saying that this kit looks like create a kit from FIFA 2006. When you create your own team, and it just bothered me so much. But that makes sense if it's part of Nike's Total 90 their
template, yeah,
template kit. So yeah, I don't like it either.
Oh, what are these lines? Like, I'm
like
looking at it now. You like it, Sharma?
I like it.
I don't like the colors.
Yeah, no, I get you on the colors. Like, it doesn't make like sense, but it gives me like some Adriano Inter kit vibes. I don't know if that's the one they referenced.
If you have the reference, you can send it to me because I don't see it. Guys, if you want to correct me, fair enough. But I personally don't see it in this one. Again,
in general, yeah, I don't think it's a good trio this year. I don't think it's a good trio of kits.
I mean, I'm a fan of the away kit. I said this when we had it announced, because of the reference to the Winter Olympics, right? That's why the snowflakes are on it. But that's literally, again, personal preference. So I guess I can't really say anything because you like this kit, but then everyone hates the away kit, and I like it. So I guess I can't really speak on that one. But
Yeah, I don't know how much I can say while I'm wearing this one as well.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it
The worst one.
apart when we weren't recording. I don't like this one either. So yeah.
We'll see what the people say in the comments. Whether
Yeah, comment below, like, or tweet us or whatever if you like the kit, because I'm sorry, but I can't act like I like it. Sean, you mentioned it at the start of the episodes. Inter had their first friendly, or Inter under 23, sorry, had their first friendly. We have the 11 men that played right here. Yeah, we have the two 31-year-old signings in the starting 11. And then we have names like Berenbruch, we have Kamate, we have Dopalovic, a couple of the guys. Alexi, obviously, who was the Primavera captain. Yeah, they played out a 2-2 draw with Trento. And goals were scored by Luka Topalovic and our very own Giovanni Leoni, Alessandro Fontanarosa. So, yeah, decent opening. But what's even more important is that Inter will have a friendly against Inter under 23 next Sunday at 10:30 a.m. Italian time. So, Sean, have fun waking up at 3:30 a.m. to catch the game, because yeah, it will be streamed live on YouTube, and if you are in Italy, it will be showed on the Zone, I think. So we can watch it, and it should be a good game. I'm rooting for Inter under 23. Forza. So yeah, but what do we think?
I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I can just imagine Fontanarosa dunking on Acerbi or De Vrij and the whole of Twitter saying, like, promote him to the first team.
There's a couple people that I know would love to see that happen, that have been shouting for Fontanarosa to play with the first team. So I know the 2 or 3 accounts that are going to come out and say something. I can't have that happen. I can't. Save me. But no, it'll be good to kind of see. I mean, Trento is a Serie C side, so seeing them play against a week's worth of training, or a week and a half worth of training, senior squad, cool. We'll see how it goes.
They will be ahead of the senior team, so they might even give a surprise. You know, they might even beat the team because they will only have a few days training in their legs.
Yeah, it's not even that unlikely. Yeah. Which is, a lot of people are going to say, oh, like, this is crazy, blah, blah, blah. But no, like, training does make a big difference, especially if you just came back from vacation 3-4 weeks. So I wouldn't be surprised, genuinely.
Also, that U23 team, those players are going to be playing their hardest to prove something, to get a chance with the senior squad, while the senior squad is thinking, okay, cool, training match, basically. So, no, it'll just be fun to see all of that come together.
That's why I like these matches, because they have something to prove.
Is there any particular players that for this season from the under 23 that you feel like we should be all keeping a lookout for?
Sean.
So I know that Kamate came back from a Serie C side. I don't know if he's going to stay with the U23 team. Of course, he had some excitement as a Primavera player. And then if we can keep Alexiu, I'd like to see him do well. And then, of course, the limit is 50 appearances in Serie A. So he can get a couple appearances with the senior team to see what Chivu can actually do to bring them up. And then if we're going with the players that are still here now, Berenbruch would be the other one that I would want to see. But I think he has a little bit more of a market on loan in Serie B. So
yeah, I have one player per department, kind of. I'm a big fan of Koki, left back. Yes. I think he has potential. There was even talk of him going on loan to a Serie A team. I think I think he'd be ready to go on loan, but if he doesn't, I think he'll have a banging season with the under 23 team, and even hopefully via that, get some chances in the first team, which is the good thing. If you keep the players, if you keep a player in the under 23 team, you have the option to start him in the first team, which is kind of like, you have to evaluate as a player's camp. Like, do you want to go on loan, but then you can't play with Inter for the whole season? Or do you want to play for the under 23 side, but you have the option to be called up, That's kind of like why I like the option of the under 23 almost a little bit more for certain players. And then for midfield, obviously Berenbruch is a name that's been thrown out there, but I'm a big fan of him. I think he has a lot of qualities that some first team players don't have. And if you just develop him further, then he'll be very good. And same with Matteo Spinace. I'm a big fan of him. I watched basically all of the youth league games. So yeah, I saw him a little bit for the under 19 side. So big fan of him. And that's like my main three players. Sharma, what's yours?
Yeah, Koki and Berenbrook for me. And yeah, as you said, probably they're the most likely to leave though, so they're the most ready. I think Topalovic, as talented as he is, I think it will do him good. Do like a year with the under 23s. Like I was saying on my video today, like I looked at the Juve next gen, and you see like Yildiz had like 20. I think he had 20 games in Serie C. Huijsen had like 20 games in Serie C. Miretti's had 30 games in Serie C. So it, like I think some of these guys do need these types of games, even though it might be below their level.
Yeah, for Topalovic, I agree, because I like the comparison with Juve next gen too. But for Topalovic, I agree because you kind of see that he's still very raw. The penalty misses he had last season were kind of bad as well. You can kind of tell that, you know, he's not really 100% there yet. It's his first year. You know, you don't speak Italian. It's difficult. I understand, but I think a year would be good, and then you can integrate him either into the first team already if he has a really good year, or you just loan him out, which is, I guess, the more likely case for next year. But yeah, no, I agree. And then just to finish off, guys, we have some official announcements for the under-23 team. The competitive season will start with the Serie C Coppa Italia, which I didn't even know was a thing. I can't lie, guys. Which starts on Saturday, August 16th against Lumezzana. And then we have the official schedule for just the league here. Now, don't get confused. This is just the first leg and then the return leg, as they call it. So the first game will be against Novara at home, away, and then they'll play them at home on the 4th of January. So don't get confused. This is what it looks like. But yeah, so 38 games for the under-23 side, plus a potential run in the Serie C Coppa Italia. That's the schedule. I heard it will be available to watch on FIFA Plus. So I don't know what countries that includes, but it will be broadcasted. I don't know what countries that will be. I'll try and do some research on it for next episode, and then I'll let you guys know. But you will be able to watch it one way or another, hopefully. But yeah, Sean, unless you guys have anything else to say, Sean, we did forget to do our little intro section at the start. So,
well, yeah, before we get to ours, Theo, just tell the people
please,
where they can find you on any platform to give you a follow and help you out.
Yeah, on YouTube, I'm close to 12k subscribers. So yeah, if you can help me get to 12k, that would be amazing. It's Uncle Sharma on YouTube, and on Instagram it's the Uncle Sharma, and on Twitter it's at @rshams with 2 Z's. So that's me. But yeah, just make YouTube videos on pre-match, post-match reaction on Inter, transfer news, all that kind of stuff. I try to, well, almost daily these days, because yeah, I've got time these days.
Yeah, it's been good. You've been getting me through my workday some days, so it's
Glad to hear it.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll leave all of Uncle Sharma's stuff in the description on our post when we get this out. And if you guys could hit the like button on this video, subscribe, comment down below on anything that you want to talk about that we talked about today. Yeah, quote tweet the video, the post on Twitter to tell us your thoughts, anything. Just interact with us. And we are getting up to 67,000 followers on Twitter. So if you could share our account with us or with your friends and other people, make sure that we can try and reach 70K, maybe before the end of the year. That'd be awesome. So yeah, just follow us on Twitter, subscribe on YouTube, and yeah, Simi, I'll leave it with you.
Yeah, I just wanted to add, Sharma, by the way, you've been getting me through my meals in terms of the videos that you put out. So yeah, I appreciate it. Like I said,
thank you for having me on as well, guys.
No, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure, man. You're always welcome to come back on, maybe towards the end of the window, maybe for a UCL game, whatever.
I'll have to get you guys on now.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. On behalf of Inter Xtra, we're very happy to join. Yeah. So yeah, no, like I said, make sure you guys, give us a 5-star rating on wherever you're listening. If you're not watching on YouTube, some of you guys might not know, we are putting these videos out on YouTube. So if you want to see our faces, make sure you subscribe and lock into the YouTube as well. But yeah, guys, that will be the end for now. We'll be back again next week. Next week, I won't be here, but it will be Sean and whoever else we don't really know yet. So Sean will take the lead next week. But yeah, for now, guys, that will be the end of today. Lock in next week again. But yeah, we're out. Forza Inter.